That's the most unexpected shit I've heard from my friends. I've just done my deep block. I come outside, they tell me to find a job or stop being unemployed. First of all, I was pissed, but the next second I realized what's going on. I just laughed at him, and the next day I've done another deep block for 1.5 hours. And what's interesting, soon I'm gonna feed my whole family while working 3 hours a day, and they're gonna work 9 to 5 for the next 5 to 10 years. This is the meta, bro. Work so little, people think you're literally procrastinating. I'm gonna need your full attention here. I know you're probably in the range between 16 and 20. You probably go to school, you probably have some plan, applying to some uni, having that high status job, waiting for 5 years to get a degree, and then get a raise in that job, and slowly but surely go by the status ladder. When you have that high paying job, you will somehow find a girl that will become your wife. You'll have 2 kids, you'll get mortgage on your home, that you'll be paying off in the next 30 years. You're gonna have a mediocre car, and you'll be tied to that job. You'll be tied to that place. You're never gonna have the ability to move on. Why am I telling you that? Do you want to be him? Do you actually want to be like that? You're thinking for yourself, bro, it's not me, and you probably want to click away. But it's the meta, most effective tactic available for ignorant teens, for guys that just don't know nothing about productivity. The cause of those guys thinking like that is that they don't know how to be productive. What do they do wrong? First of all, the approach, 9 to 5, going to uni, doing all of those things, buying home on mortgage, getting mediocre wife. Everything has gone wrong when he chose the wrong path. And I'm gonna explain the right path right now. Work like a lion, not a mule. You know how mule works, right? Just doing that labor job for hours and hours a day, and its shift of a mule doesn't end. It ends as soon as it lays down because of exhaustion. Her workday starts when it wakes up. Miserable life, doing that routine shitty task for basically 16 hours a day. But how would lion work? It doesn't wear a suit, it doesn't go on a public transport or somewhere else. It hunts, and when it hunts, it gets an interesting approach that you have to look up for. Basically, when it gets food, it's enough for the pride for 2 days or something like that. So the actual hunt, when a lion goes out in the wild and it chases some animal, it lasts for 15 minutes. And when it gets food, it lasts for 2 days. 2 days of scanning the area to find the weakest but biggest prey. Do you get the analogy? It does the mental work. And then the physical part of the job lasts for 15 minutes. Do you know how lions run? That's the representation of work smart, not hard. You always work like a mule. Those 9 to 5 workers work like a mule. Everything that is not about entrepreneurship, everything that is not about business, you just work for someone else. And when you work for someone else, they need your time. They're eating on the most valuable resource you have, time. Lion is not tied to time. It literally depends on how he hunts. So he's learned that skill for years and years, and now he hunts for 15 minutes. He's done a job. He's feeding his family. It's his main task. Many of us teens don't even have that main task. We don't even know what we're good at. We're just floating with our lives. We just think we're gonna be productive, we're gonna be successful, but we don't know how. We're not gonna live that miserable life when we do some side hustle and it don't even work. Because now we'll work like a lion too. Let's start with deep work. Deep work comes from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. And I want to talk about Carl Jung. He's a psychiatrist and a philosopher. When he needed to do the job, he would go to his cabin in the woods, and he would be lost there for 2 or 3 months. He would have no cell phone. They don't even have phones at that time. It was like 1930s or something like that. He would be lost there working on his papers, working on his job. What was his main thing? Writing. There would literally be no one to disturb him. He was alone, closed windows, for months and months in solitude. Why would he do that? But when he comes out of that cabin, we get the best job, the best papers on psychiatry, understanding the pattern of thinking, understanding people, how they think, what are they thinking about, deep concepts in psychiatry, in philosophy, we wouldn't get if he didn't work in that cabin by himself. And deep work is everything about that. And I'm not telling you to move out from that fucking cabin. Like, bro, you're 18. But having that one block when you're undistracted, when you just do your thing and you're not distracted. It's doing that creative, demanding, hard task that can't be delegated by no one. Why we work so little? Because we work deeply. For YouTubers, it's scripting, it's recording videos, nothing else. Building products, probably. Editing, making thumbnails, writing down ideas, making logo, shallow work. Everything else that is not about recording, editing, or product making is shallow work. We're gonna talk about shallow work later. But what I'm gonna tell you is, if you don't do deep work, if you don't even know the concept, you basically can fuck yourself. That's the most basic shit about productivity. If you wanna do meaningful progress, but work so little, you have to work deeply. You're thinking like, okay, I got it, bro. But how much? How much per day is actually enough? There's a meta right now. Most effective tactic available. You have to work less than 3 hours a day. Why is that? You have only 2 blocks per day. Now we're getting to numbers. 2 blocks per day. Deep work, shallow work. Deep work has to be at the time when you're the most productive. Morning. Usually morning. I don't talk about night owls because I'm not night owl myself. Morning. You have the most energy. You have shallow work. You have it in the midday. You have it at noon. You have it in the evening. Basically, 3 hours divides into 2 blocks. 1.5 hours here, 1.5 hours here. First block is the most important one. If you haven't done the first one, you can basically fuck yourself. Your day is fucked. It's absolutely wasted. You have to understand it like that. Because there is basically no progress. If people start to think you're just procrastinating or you're unemployed, they were right. Because you don't work. You don't progress. If you want to go out of that cycle of wanting to do some side hustle but actually quitting it, just do deep work in the morning. When you work more than 2 hours, you start to cope. And coping usually happens when you just start doing bullshit. When the quality of the work just goes to the bottom. Actually, you can't work more than that. You will understand when it's deep work. When you actually can't work more than that, your brain is like, God damn, you have to stop. I'm exhausted. And it's a mental rest, bro. Just don't give me nothing. Just let me eat something. Just let me lay in my bed. When it's so loading and it's hard, you're like, I have to stop. So that's a natural work day. 1.5 hours. And shallow work, you're editing for 1.5 hours. It's fucking enough. You're doing the essentials. And only those essentials are gonna make you money. Those essentials are gonna make you successful. Not those shallow things. Not those things you were doing, like checking websites or just doing some bullshit in Chrome. Picking your logo, looking for stores, for dropshipping stores, doing some cold outreach when you're not even trying. No, that's bullshit. If you just make videos, if I just script videos for 1.5 hours a day, that's what's gonna make me money. Not making cold outreach for 6 hours. Not even trying. Not even having a right script. But like editing for a whole fucking day. It doesn't matter. No one cares. We have a meta that works. We have other influencers that do the same shit and it works. You will be pissed when you actually know how much influencers work. It's no more than 2 or 4 hours a day. It's that simple. What they do with remaining time? They fucking rest. Rest and learning is the part of the work. Like that lion scans the area. It learns. It studies those animals. It studies the prey going around to catch the biggest prey that is the weakest. You do the same shit. You just relax. You recharge for the next block. You learn concepts. You get ideas from the book. You get experiences by going out, by trying new shit. And when you sit down and do the block, you will actually turn on those experiences. When you're learning, you're just getting more ideas to your brain pool. When you're writing something, when you're scripting, you're gonna have so much more stories. You're gonna have so much more action steps. You're gonna pull out that brilliant idea that's gonna pop up and get 1 million views. You'll get 100 clients and you're never gonna have to work again. That's how it works. So remove other bullshit, remove distractions, other tasks besides main things that is deep work, that is shallow work, are distractions. Meaningless conversation with your friends. Distractions. Looking at your phone in the morning. Distraction. Attending some courses you don't even need. Distraction. I can go on and on and on. You have so much things in your life that basically don't bring zero meaning to your life. They're for you to waste your fucking time. Pick things that only move you towards your goal. Like, you can call it toxic, but fuck it, bro. If it's meaningful, if you're making meaningful progress, isn't that a life that you wanted? Isn't that the life of a purposeful guy that doesn't care about nothing, but just pursuing his own goal? That is just productive, that he likes it, and he has free time, he's relaxing, he's socializing. He only does things that are meaningful, that are purposeful. Isn't that fucking awesome? But you don't do that. You're not striving to that. You don't pursue your goals 24/7. You don't do nothing like that. As I'm explaining it to you, you're realizing that you're much stupider than you think. I'm not here to insult you, but I'm gonna open your eyes about productivity. That is the meta, bro. Just follow it. Become an essentialist. Remove clutter from your life and only pursue your goals. Work less than 3 hours a day. Do deep work. Work like a lion, not a mule. Want to become 2 times more productive? Want to double results in your business? Make 2 times more money? Then you're right by the address. Click on the link below. Book a free call with me. We will talk about it. And that's all. Bye.